So what's your favorite book?
My favorite book that I read recently was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
So what is it all about?
It talks about understanding the language of the universe.
Who is the protagonist of the book?
I don't recall the name.
Who is his love counterpart?
I don't recall the name, but
When did you read the book?
close to 2 months.
In which language does Mr. Paulo Coelho write?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Aleph is the name of the protagonist,
yeah.
and his love interest is Fatima. I read this book 18 years ago.
Okay, Adarsh, can you tell us something about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Adarsh Marigeri. I belong from Thane and I stay 25 kilometers away from the campus. I did my undergraduate from BITS Pilani Goa campus. It was a dual degree, doing my bachelor's in electronics communication and master's in mathematics. Based on my 12th percentage, I received a scholarship of 3 lakhs, which I received for my undergraduation. And during my final year, I interned for Samsung Semiconductor as an intern for a year. And then during my final year, I received placement for Capital One India, where I worked as a software engineer. My primary role was based on the automation frameworks and CI/CD pipelines.
So Capital One is the credit card company from US?
Correct.
Achha. So you work with their India office.
Yes, in Bangalore.
So what was your role in that?
So I was responsible for the B2B SDK design. It was part of their technology solution division. And there I was responsible for the co-development of SDK as well as the CI/CD and automation framework for all of the applications.
So what do you think are the implications or the effects of artificial intelligence in this work?
So in this, artificial AI has many applications. It could be from customer support, starting from the enterprises which use our application. And so what happens is many of the times they don't have they don't know how to integrate our application with their services. So having an integration with AI, how to have the user guidelines, what exactly are the bugs they might be facing while integration, is one of the main applications of AI here.
Now, what if someone says that AI is going to eat away all the jobs? So what's your take on it?
It is partially true. It is taking away a major chunk of all of the jobs. With the recent news, many of the people across the world have been displaced. And what I feel is moving along this AI change of rapid innovation is what people have to adapt to now, because we can't shy away from the fact that AI is going to is going to displace people. So what I think is using AI as a tool for your jobs is going to help.
So, did you enjoy your job?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So, what is your motivation to go for MBA?
So as I was working as a software engineer, mostly responsible for the implementation of all of the features in the application, I also got curious as to the business side of the implementation to understand the bigger picture, where I also got to work alongside the project managers and the product managers. And so that's what motivated me to pursue an MBA.
So this is very vague. You got interested in business side of the picture. Okay, can you be more specific?
Sure. So right before my undergraduation, I was interested in MBA. But when I was working as a software engineer, that gave me more clarity to that gave me a direction that I want to get into product management. So before my undergraduation itself, I thought that to get into a good MBA curriculum, first I should have I should get into a good reputed college, have a good profile based on my 10th and 12th marks. And once I had, after my undergraduation, gained some work experience, and once I had enough corpus to finance my MBA, I thought this would be the right time to pursue.
So you are interested in product management.
Yes.
So what exactly is done in product management?
So a product manager is responsible to understand the business requirements of the application that he's supposed to lead. He's responsible for the product strategy, stakeholder management, and the end-to-end implementation for all of the implementation.
It sounds like a CEO of a product.
It is to some extent the CEO of the product, but it has to. He is more responsible for the go-to-market strategy. Building the product from scratch, and then the overall implementation. But he won't be responsible for the finance side, or let's say any kind of supply chain that is involved as part of the product. He's responsible for the execution of all of the people that is involved for the development and the stakeholder management.
Now, you have done masters in mathematics as well as engineering, right?
Yeah.
So I'm asking you a question in mathematics.
Okay.
Probability for that matter. Okay. So what is the probability? So how many people are there in this room? 7 people here. Yeah. So what is the probability that two of us, at least two of us, have birthdays on the same day? Same date.
On the same date. Okay. So the probability of a person having, let's say I pick a particular date, let's say 1st January. So a probability of having a birthday on 1st January is, let's say it's a non-leap year. So the probability of one having that is 1 upon 365. And then for the person, for the other person too, having the birth date on the same day would be the same, 1 upon 365. So probability of having both of them having the same birthday, I would put it as an equation of P A intersection B, where A stands for the event when person A has the birthday on that day and B having the birthday on the same day. And then so this is my thought process. I'm not sure how to proceed with this.
What is a cube root of 1?
+1.
You have the right to go into imaginary numbers as well. Okay.
Yeah, I would still say it is +1. When you put it in an equation, let's say x cube is equal to 1, that would have imaginary roots. But when you say the cube root, it is intended to be positive. So I would say +1.
You have shown your interest in marketing, Adarsh. Right? Why marketing?
So as I mentioned that working in a project that is B2B, that involved, understanding the customer experience, what are their requirements, and it being a B2B application. So I already have experience working on outside, and that really raised the interest in me for going for marketing. That is my second preference. First preference is obviously the information management that I mentioned.
What is surrogate advertisement?
Sorry, I'm not aware.
So what sort of organizations are you looking forward to working in post-MBA?
I would prefer to go to organizations that have tech product manager roles. like Microsoft, Google, and Meta.
So, do these companies visit the campus? Yes. Okay. So, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book that I read recently was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
So, what is it all about?
It talks about understanding the language of the universe, pursuing your passion, and it also talks about how, if you are really determined to work towards your passion, the universe also makes sure that you achieve your destination.
It's a pretty subjective assessment of the book, right? So if you truly being a very, very subjective word, what do you mean by you truly want something? So it's a very simple thing. When you don't get it, you say that you did not truly want it. When you get it, you say that you truly wanted it. So this is what we call this true Scotsman fallacy. Right? So how do you justify this? I can say this thing about anything that happens with me.
No, I feel that the ultimate goal that you want to achieve, it does not change based on what results you have gotten. Of course, the journeys differ, but once you understand that this is your passion, this is what I want to achieve, come what may, and this is not going to change for me. That's what I define it as truly wanting something.
Who is the protagonist of the book?
The I don't recall the name, but he's a shepherd who left his home early, and he dwells on to the adventure of finding a treasure which he always wanted.
Who is his love counterpart? What's her name?
I don't recall the name, but
When did you read the book?
it's been close to 2 months. But the book mentions he has two lover counterparts, splitting in the first half as well as the second half.
In which language does Mr. Paulo Coelho write?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
You read a book in English.
Yeah. So, what do you think are your areas of improvement?
I feel there are a few areas that I can improve on. For example, I face difficulty when I to delegate my tasks as part of when I worked as part of my project. I used to feel that this is something that I should take on myself, and that usually has resulted in deadline extension. So I think I should work on delegating my tasks, whoever's responsible.
Now, as a manager, you will have to finish the task on given time.
Correct. Okay.
And delegating your work is one of the requirements of a good race. So, how do we trust that you'll be able to cope up with this requirement?
That's the right word you use, that is trust. So I believe that having trust on my partners or my associates is what is required for me to delegate my tasks, whether it may be. So I think what I lacked is that having too much belief that someone might not be able to do it as well, or I should have the oversight, the primary oversight, but having the trust on my co-partners is what is required.
So, what is happening in the world these days? So, what do you foresee about the impact of trans policies on, say, IT industry in India?
Okay. So, as you know, so Trump is trying to take over many of the countries, which, especially with respect to the oil reserves, and he's trying to make sure that the dollar retains its value, so that everyone across the world continues to trade in dollars with respect to oil. And this obviously has an impact on all of these sectors, with respect to the changes that happen in the market. So correspondingly, the IT sector also will have is currently going through is slowly weakening.
So, what are your expectations on the budget?
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
So no expectations on the budget?
No, I don't think I'll have definite views on that.
Do you pay taxes? Did you pay taxes?
Yes.
So some expectation from that angle.
Okay.
So I could say it from the perspective of the rupee weakening because of all of the events that are happening across the world with the supply of rupee that is there, that is slowly increasing. So that will obviously have some effect on the taxes.
Anything else?
No, I'm done. No.
Okay, Adarsh, your interview is over. Now I'll give you the feedback. So how do you think it went?
I have fumbled across many of the questions, and it went in directions that I did not anticipate.
Yeah. See, overall, you're a good candidate, definitely. But you could have done better in this interview. Okay. So what is the first question that we ask you?
Tell me about yourself.
So why do you think we asked that question?
That question is basically it acts as an icebreaker between the interview and the interviewee, and also that helps to lead the interview as to what I mentioned.
So do you think you did a good job on that?
Not as I
Not
expected.
really.
Yeah.
Right. See, that introduction, first of all, doesn't have to be in chronological order. That I did say masters and so dual degree program from BITS Pilani Goa campus.
Yeah.
And then I won scholarship. Then I did internship as a part of my with Samsung, right? Yeah. Then after graduation, I started working with Capital One. Now you worked there for almost like 3 years. And that is a very good point on your profile. And it is a long enough time, right? So you should speak more about that.
Okay.
That what is it exactly that you did there? And see, if you're in say SP10 interview, probably it is a group interview, so it will not get into the very nitty-gritties of everything, right? Because they will ask, how it goes, right? Yeah. But if you're in say MBA interview, then it's not necessary that everyone will understand what you're talking about there in the interview panel. Now, of course, some professor from information management side would be more likely to not be present there in the panelists. But still, what is it that you did at work? So you threw a lot of jargons, and it was difficult for others to understand.
Okay.
Right? So you have to be able to describe what is it that you did exactly in 2-3 sentences.
Rather than being too technical.
Exactly, yeah. Rather than being too technical. And what was your role in that? Because, because why is it important? Because a lot of things in the interview will depend on that. Because of the fact that you work with is a good company, Capital One. You work for a long enough time, 3 years, right? So, you can drive the interview in that direction. Right. And moreover, you can relate it with why MBA answer.
Okay. In the introduction itself.
No. Don't talk about why MBA right in the introduction. But later.
Okay.
When the question, if the question is why do you want to go for MBA, then you can pick up the threads from your introduction. That at Capital One, I did this. And you interacted with some clients and all?
No. This was a desk job.
It was a desk job.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how you would want to portray as a motivation for MBA?
So I mentioned that I worked alongside product managers, and that
Alongside product managers. Okay. So my suggestion is still that is a sort of a secondary motivation because it is coming from somebody else. Right. What is the primary motivation? So maybe information management is something you want to go for, right? I am. And because you have relevant work experience in that domain. Now, I have developed or I have this work experience that has kindled my curiosity. And so, what sort of consulting services or consulting assignments this information management professionals or MBA in information management work on? Find that out. And then relate it with your work experience. And find out something that is relevant to what you have done so far. And the idea that you want to portray is that these are some of the things I would want to work on. But if I want to be in that role, there are certain other skills and the knowledge of certain domains that I would require, which I don't have at this point. And I will get that in an MBA. And how will you get that? Related. So the idea that you want to convey is why you want to go for MBA is because there are certain things you want to do. And it's those certain things are not coming out of the blue. They're related with your experience. And there is curiosity in your mind. You have developed interest because of that. There are certain skills required which you don't have at this point, but you will get it in MBA. If you can establish MBA as a bridge between where you are and what you want to do, that's great. Yeah. Then I ask you the question, do you enjoy your job? That was a trap. And it's good that you did not fall in that trap. You said yes, and you stopped it there. So probably you could have added some of the learnings or in what way it has made you a better person, some interesting takeaways from your job, whatever it is. But one mistake a lot of students do is that obviously they cannot say no. So, yes, I enjoy my job, but because of whatever reasons I want to go for it. Don't do that. Okay? So, it is not written anywhere that students who are fed up with their job should only go for MBA. Right? So, you can very well enjoy your job. That might have been the best thing to happen to you.
But for the next stage, this is
exactly. Right. But for skill development or for better value addition, you still want to go for MBA. Nothing stops you from that. Okay? So good that you did not fall in that trap. And then you also talked about marketing part, and that link was somewhat weak. Right. So why you want to go for marketing?
Actually, I'm not interested in marketing, but
that is quite apparent. I was, in fact, what you said was, I asked a question about what is surrogate advertising, and you said that, okay, no, but my first preference is this.
Yes.
So why? It's written somewhere in your profile, right? Marketing. Yeah. This is a very escaping answer.
Yeah. So I'll surely read up on that, but at that point, I had to choose a second specialization preferences.
No, especially if you are in SP10 interview, they would ask questions related about your specialization. Right. So inside your IMS login, you'll see Nano MBA capsule. Yeah. And in that, we have uploaded a lot of stuff related to marketing. Okay. So go through that. Sure. Okay. So at this point, you are not expected to know everything. You can't. But still, you should be able to answer at least the basic questions. Then one area of improvement for you is that you find it difficult to delegate your responsibility. Right? Well, I would strongly suggest you against using this as a weakness. Okay. Because as a manager, you have to take care of maybe a lot of things. You cannot do everything. So you have to delegate. And if you find it difficult to delegate, if that is your weakness, then how can you be a good manager? Exactly. So in a way, the follow-up question that I asked you was hinting towards that. How do we trust that you will be able to cope up with the requirement? And what was the answer that you gave? That you will trust your subordinates. Yeah. So what the question was asking something. And your answer was completely like off the tangent. Yeah.
But I thought that any weakness that I mentioned will obviously go against what a manager requires.
No, not necessarily.
Why would you put leadership related weaknesses?
Could you give an example which I could?
See, I can't tell what your weakness is, right? So I'll just give you a hint. So at any point of time, do you feel that you should have been in a better place, or you should have been doing something in a different way? So the way to portray or the way to think about it is that suppose you are at point A, you know that point B is a better point to be in some respect, and you should be there, but still you haven't been able to go there. You are still stuck at point A. Why? The reason that prevents you from going from A to B is your weakness. Okay. So think about it, introspect yourself, dig deeper within yourself. You'll find some weakness, because there is no one who doesn't have any weakness. Every human being has some or the other weakness, right? Now that weakness should be something that can be improved upon by working. So when you talk about weakness, also mention how you are working on it.
Yes.
And again, that may not go overnight, because if it is your real weakness, then it will take time.
Efforts, yes.
Right? And one other mistake many students commit is that they take a strength and then sugarcoat it with something and portray it as if it is their weakness. Don't do that. Weakness is a weakness.
Yes.
I work a lot is my weakness. Why is it a weakness? Then, when I ask you the question on budget, you're not able to answer it at all. Right? So, work on that. Now, your interview will happen after the budget. So, the question will not be on expectation from the budget, but what is your view on the budget? So, what should have been done differently? Right? And preferably also talk about the economic consequences, if you can. Okay. And then there is, you talk a little bit about depreciation of rupee, although you did not use that term.
Yeah.
But you were hinting at that. Depreciation of rupee, supply of rupee is increasing, and that is why taxes are going up or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
trying to make up.
Nice. You wanted to share something related to economics and whatever the top terms were coming to your mind.
So it was very obvious that you are trying to make up something. So don't do that. If you don't know, you don't know. So it is always better to admit that you don't know instead of getting into a deeper topic later. Then, you talked about that book. That is fine. Okay, but now it's sir ask you some questions, some more questions about the book. So you should be able to handle those kind of questions.
Aleph is the name of the protagonist, and his love interest is Fatima. I read this book 18 years ago.
Then anything?
See, others, there is heightened expectation from you because of the profile, the pay that you are leaving behind joining this. So, your why MBA has to be extremely clear. It can be as precise as possible, as clear as possible. So even though you answered financing your own MBA, I was still not sure that the person like you who is, so your position is already a coveted position by, I think, 90% CAT writers or 90% MBAs. You are already there. So if you want to move ahead from that point to the next one, your answer has to be extremely precise. It is like, if I have to give the analogy, if I go to Australian tour, there are players who are going to throw a lot of Yorkers to me. I am a good batsman for every other shot except the Yorker. So I would like to train myself for the Yorker in next, let's say, 20 days or before the tour begins. That precision of the answer. I have had students, just sharing an example, I have had students who wanted to do MBA because they wanted to understand impact of investing in certain industries. So they ended up getting into it, investment banking and all that. So your answer, given the circumstances, have to be that precise. Very specific, very researched answer. Right? Because You're not some fresher who woke up one day and decided, okay, fine, there is something called MBA. Let me go ahead and do that. Right. It is not the case. It is a very well thought after decision. So it should be very, very apparent to us. One question I think you might be asked, that you are a man of numbers, man of mathematics, and the percentiles are 97.55 in your QA section. So that might be a question, that why is that the case? Right. So I wanted to ask that, but then the maths wala thing was over. So I thought I will share that as a feedback. What is your answer to that?
Why do I have such a
Why not 99.99? Especially when you are masters in mathematics.
So usually in my mocks, usually I used to perform well, but due to the exam pressure, somehow I could not score that much. I agree, it should have been, it is not up to the mark. And during my final months of preparation, my weaker areas, that was VRC, I tended to focus more on that, which is the reason. Yeah.
The last feedback from my side, that is, you answer only to the person who is asking you the question. Right. Now, any one of us can ask a question. Your job is to answer to both of us, or all of us. Had we been 3 people, your job is to answer to all of them. So you have to have a bit of eye movement or eye contact. Okay, even if the person is writing, you might want to look at him. Okay, so my question is, why did I not get 99.99 percentile? So I think, I used to score 99 percentile, but on the exam day, it was a pressure and then I fumbled. Something like this, right? So try to maintain eye contact with, even if there are 3-4 people, you have to talk to all of them.
And that probability question.
Yeah.
So what is the probability that at least 2 people will have birthday on the same date? Not necessarily 1st of January, same day, any date. Okay. So if there are 7 people, then the probability that, so it's like 1 minus probability that all of them have birthday on different dates.
Differently, yeah.
So denominator is 365 raised to 7, because there are 7 people. And the probability that all of them have birthdays on different dates. So numerator will be 365 into 364 into 363. So it will be 365 P7 divided by 365 raised to 7. So that is the probability that all of them have birthdays on the different days. So 1 minus that.
Should I also have some breadcrumbs in my introduction that these are my favorite topics in maths, so that it doesn't lead in?
Because no, you're not BSc with mathematics or some engineer who was interested in math. You are masters in maths. So you don't have a right to share that. You ask me only 3 type of questions.
And moreover, you have been working for 3 years in relevant job profile.
So it is expert.
So that's it. I'm done.
So all the best.
All the best.